Hopefully the internet holds today. I might just do something real quick, which hopefully will not stop the connection. Just make sure our internet is all right. Just give me a sec. And we are back. All right, here we go. Hello everyone. Just needed to make sure that my internet was set on high speed. I hope everyone is well. Hi. I see Shannon. Hello. So I just wanted to pop on today and go do a hello neighbor with everyone because it seemed like the day for it. Was having some interesting dreams and really processing some information for myself. And you know me, when I figure out something useful, I tend to share it unless it's like super esoteric and kind of needs some safeguards. But this one I felt was a more general message. And of course, we can also talk about other things because those are the nature of Hello Neighbors. But today in particular, I wanted to talk about compassion, caregiving, and achievement. So, if you are following me, you are very likely to be a facilitator of some kind. Doesn't have to be a spiritual facilitator, but a facilitator of some kind, or a caregiver, and or someone who also deals with chronic health issues. And often we see these occurring together. And a lot of the time in cases like this, which includes myself, I'm not putting myself on a pedestal or whatnot, but in cases like this, oftentimes what we see is that the individuals like this have a very, very strong sense of empathy, strong sense of compassion, strong sense of responsibility. And I see Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Dawn says, hello, that's me. Hi, Betty. And individuals like this also tend to get very, very burnt out. And again, I include myself in that mix. So, speaking from experience, not judgment. And yesterday, I was actually doing something really, really difficult. It was a long term project that my brother and I have been working towards, and we had to do some physical moving of objects. And, because my health was hit so hard, what should have been a very easy task turned out to be a very laborious 2 years to do. And the thing is, I had to go and move some stuff, do some stuff on a higher floor. And unfortunately, at this location, the staircases were way too high. And I tried taking a step up and I realized, oh God, my leg is too weak. I will literally tear my tendon again. And so I couldn't. And it felt really saddening because I used to be someone who was able to go anywhere, do anything at a whim, at a drop of a hat. I mean, the fact that I'm not using a bedpan is already a good thing, though there was a phase of that. And the fact that I couldn't go up the staircase because my knees were just too weak, despite all of the health treatments I've been getting, it did make me sad. And I immediately went to the thought of, oh God, how can I not be strong enough to do this? So, I was thinking about it, and I started feeling bad about it. And as I was leaving the premises doing what I could do, I actually had a thought going, well, actually, no, I am strong enough. I am still standing here doing what I can do and showing up in the best way possible. That's already an achievement. And then it occurred to me that, through various means, I would actually say one of the reasons why I haven't been able to be at full strength in the past few years is also because energetically and spiritually, I do a lot of work. Like, I do a ridiculous level of work. I spend hours and hours in meditation a day because that's the nature of it. And that absolutely takes a toll on your energy. Now, most of you are not going to be working at that very esoteric level, but even emotional care is something that takes a toll on the physical body. And that's why people talk about stress, they talk about depression, they talk about emotions being the root cause of a lot of psychological and other health issues. And of course, there are people who've done research on that, for those who still see this as a new concept. And excuse me, but I forgot to turn on the do not disturb thing. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, here we go. So I was realizing this and putting two and two together and just kind of went, given all the stuff that I do, and given all the energy that I hold for so many people, I think I'm kind of underestimating my own strength here just because I'm looking at something physical and judging myself to the standards of quote unquote an able bodied person that in all likelihood is probably not going to be spending as much time as I do on spiritual work. So, and as I said, that work takes energy, that work takes a toll. It's one of the reasons why I pace myself as I do for session work, because there's a long period of recovery after. It's one of the reasons why several years ago I called this work bone medicine, because it hits the bones. So having that realization this morning, I kind of went, "Oh, Josh, hang on, we have to do a Josh rescue. Anne, Josh, he has begun." I see Chiron. Howdy, Chiron, the wounded healer. So Shannon says, yes, so true for you, Dr. B. Absolutely. So, Michi says, hi, Josh. Josh, you have fans, but try not to disrupt the work. Josh is worried. Josh doesn't like this work. Josh is more, would prefer that I was, I don't know, some kind of TV celebrity somewhere just talking and not doing anything of the nature. But he loves me. That's why he yells. But he also knows it's important. He's very quiet for the creatrix sessions though, because he really likes that work and it is very powerful work. But having said that, getting back to what I was talking about before Josh also had a thing to say, it is about making sure that you actually realize how much you actually do. And in my case, a lot of that work is invisible in a 3D sense, but you see the effects. And in your cases, it may be invisible for other reasons, whether it's spiritual work, whether it's emotional work, whether it's just making yourself to be present to a difficult situation, even in the name of care, even in the name of compassion, whatever it is. Add all of that up. And when you realize how much work you actually do, you stop comparing yourself to a standard that society or someone else who doesn't have your same responsibilities may have unconsciously set for you. And that's when you actually start to go, oh, okay, well, maybe I can't do this, but I have done all of that. And that is equally valid. In terms of list of achievements, as I was saying on Instagram earlier, anyone who wants to see that, they can go look at my LinkedIn profile. No need to toot my horn. But in terms of just being able to do the basics of life and finding that difficult, it's definitely hard for a Capricorn like me, because for us, the knees and standing tall and being able to hold yourself is such an important thing. But when you spend so much of your energy holding it for other people, of course you're not going to have as much for yourself. So it's a PSA to anyone who's in that situation, which again includes me. Gotta do more of that work of anchoring yourself. So Shannon says, Josh sounds like he wants to sing a song for us. I do not know if anyone can survive the song of Josh. Let's put it that way. It is a deep and meaningful song. But having finished my PSA, if there's anything anyone else would like to talk about or share with the community, let me know. Michi says, Dr. Bhairavi, you deserve to toot your horn. I'll see what I can do. But it's not something I'm particularly comfortable doing unless someone is being a real piece of shit. And then I go, well. But no, apart from moments like that, no. Josh, you've been very quiet. Do you want to say hello to the fam? And of course, any questions, comments, anything you'd like me to talk about, let me know, because it's a Hello Neighbor, and Hello Neighbors are open. So, Michi laughs. I hope you're doing well, Michi. I know you've had a tough time with things recently. I really hope you're doing well. And I hope all of you are doing well. Oh, something fun I can tell all of you. I have found a new band that I like. And it's very rare that I like anything enough for me to obsessively listen to it, which I do for music that I like. But it's a group from Iceland called Kaleo, Kaleo, and their music hits in all the right places. Hits in all the right places. So I would highly recommend checking that out, especially if you are more into a dark goddessy vibe. You will enjoy it. I mean, literally, one of the songs is performed live by an erupting volcano. Another song is done live in the middle of a glacier. It's hardcore and it's very elemental. I think some of you would like it. That's Kaleo. And Michi says, I'm doing my best. Thank you. Good to hear. Good to hear. So that is something that I found recently that I am quite excited about. Um, Josh looks very intelligent and he's looking around. Josh, do you want to say hi to everybody? You sure? He's giving me a look. Anyway, so In terms of the pilgrimage, some good news. We have someone who donated a very generous sum, half of my airfare covered. There are two of you who have confirmed participation for sure, 2 to 3 people, which is good because it's not going to be an easy pilgrimage, but especially for me, given my health, but I've been called to do it, so I'm doing it. So that's good news. Creatrix sessions, as I said, have been doing extraordinary work with people, but I am taking a break till the 11th because I'm like, so it is important to pace oneself. So things are moving along. As I said, in the first half of this year, things are going to be bam, 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 go, 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 do. And that's exactly what's been happening. So keep moving forwards, keep moving forwards. I see Search. Search says greetings. Hello, Search. We just had a discussion on overextending yourself in the name of compassion and what to do about it, or at least how to take a step in the right direction. Samantha says, "Oh, hi, Samantha. Hello. If I'm thinking of the right person, how are your kitty cats? I hope it's the right person. Hi, Dr. B. Just re listened to my session with you from just over a year ago, and wow, a much needed compass I'm grateful for. You're most welcome. Are you familiar with parts work? I don't know what parts work is. Is that a new term? I mean, I might know it, but I just might not know it from a different way, or rather, in that particular term. Sorry, but what is parts work, and is there a synonym for it that I can look up? Um, let's see. Search says Aquarius energy is crazy. Yeah. Search says, thank you, doctor. Most welcome. Okay, I'm reading it out. Parts work is based on the concept that within each person there are multiple personalities or sub-personalities. Yes, yes, I do this. Yes, I do. Spiritualists don't necessarily use the term, but most spiritualists worth their salt will do some version of this. Yes. Shannon says, I have been working through a dynamic like what you were talking about recently because I work in a male-dominated industry at the minute, and my dude coworkers expect me to be like them, and I can't anymore. I feel you. I feel you. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. But self care is sometimes about saying no and just saying fuck it and doing it anyway, as the way you want to. So, um, right. Such says amen. Yeah. So, apart from work, trying to get some. Oh, hang on. Michi asks, any new moon advice for the collective? Don't overextend yourself. Well, okay. Samantha says, Parts work felt very resonant with what you shared in my reading. I found it to be a very useful framework, and yes, that's me with the kitties. I don't think Samantha would mind me saying this, but I had a little session with her a few years ago. And I mean, I am an animal communicator. I'm a human communicator and other communicators as well, but I'm also an animal communicator. And sometimes animals will tell me exactly what they want. And she has a lovely kitty named Kleb, if I'm not mistaken. And he was telling me how he wanted to go to Albuquerque. And I thought this was the weirdest freaking message ever. So I asked her about it. I said, what's in Albuquerque? And she goes, someone had invited me there, and so on and so forth. And it was so precise. But yes, some animals can communicate in very, very clear language, and sometimes they tell you to go to Albuquerque. So but yes, that's why one of the reasons I remember Samantha. She says parts work felt very resonant with what you said. Yeah, I mean, if it's a framework that helps you get through what you need to get through, use it. Spiritualists have been working with this idea for millennia. We just would not frame it in that way, but typically speaking, but if that framework helps, use it, use it, use it. Samantha says, with family and have been for a few months. I have been away. I took a journey to get mental health treatment and been away from my babies for over 6 months. That is a long time, and it's also a very powerful commitment to self-love and self-care. Sometimes that's what's needed. So, power to you, power to you. You may want to do a check-in soon. You may want to do a check-in soon. Zuri says, sending peace to everyone. Hello, Zuri. Michi says, how I knew you was going to say that. Yes, overextension and new moon message. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we live in a time where I'm not going to say the collective is more important than the individual, because without the individual, there is no collective. but it means that we actually do need to learn to appropriately lean together and lean on each other in ways that do not require the overextension of one person to their detriment and the benefit of everybody else. That model doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It's typically the feminine, and that doesn't just mean people with, secondary sexual characteristics of the XX, so to speak. The feminine itself has been gaslit to the point where love and compassion are used as the hooks that force it to be overextended. It's your job, it's your role. You're not a nice, compassionate person if you don't do that. That's BS. So, really, new moon message is learn to find a network that is respectful, that is sharing, that is caring, that is balanced. You have to also give and contribute to also receive something. Just because there are a couple of people in the system doesn't mean that the system or collective work is bad. But as always, be very careful of groupthink. Sometimes people get so much of strength from a group dynamic that they forget to listen to their own inner wisdom and they just go with what the group is doing. Because group work can be its own high, so to speak. So that is something to also watch out for. Um, let's see. Samantha says, planning on bringing them down here to Tennessee where I found myself. Once I get settled, hopefully I can still take Cleb to Albuquerque one day. Perhaps, perhaps. Yeah. Oh, okay. Samantha says everyone here should read Codependent No More. It's a great primer for anyone who overextends in the name of love. That's a good one. So is Women Who Love Too Much. Though again, there are different reasons why people can overextend, and they don't always have to do with codependency and self-love and lack of self-love in that sense. That was definitely something I looked at in my path about at this point 20 years ago ish, thereabouts. But sometimes you are in that situation simply because there is no good alternative. Like if your family is in danger, if they need to be protected, you can't go, in the name of self love, I'm just going to let you die. So, in most cases, that isn't always the situation, but as we see more and more in the world, those cases are there, and those situations are there. So that's not so much a lack of self-love, but that's more of a inability to change a situation that requires that person to make that kind of hero sacrifice. What I'm talking about is slightly different. It's not about emotional codependency dynamics, but certain people have certain spiritual paths which require them to do that till that situation can be changed. So, but it is still a very good recommendation for people working through emotional codependency traits. And again, Women Who Love Too Much applies to everyone is a wonderful book to also add to that recommendation. So, thank you for bringing it up. Serge says, last time I caught you live, I asked you about discernment, and I have been applying the fuck it lately, and I was wondering if my compass was okay. You just confirmed it. Thanks. Most welcome. Serge Moreno says, discernment is hard. It is. It absolutely is, because there's just so much in this reality that seeks to distort people, that seeks to abuse people, that seeks to put them onto the wrong path. Because all of us we have an incredible resource of spiritual energy. And there's enough things out there that have evolved to understand this. So putting different glamours, putting different illusions in our way that make us think, oh, it's okay to put my energy there. That's fine. It's great. It's what has evolved alongside so many religious and some spiritual systems in the world today. That's why discernment is so important, because it's the scissors that we use to cut through the matrix, so to speak. It's our, was it the red pill or blue pill? Though, on a side note, if you haven't watched it already, watch Owl Kitty's version of The Matrix. Owl Kitty just eats both pills because Owl Kitty is a cat. But either way, that's another way to get out of the system. So, Michi says, thank you. Shannon Salmon says, there's a good podcast called Feminist Wellness, a lot of good info how to overcome codependency dynamics. Thank you for the suggestion. Savanda says, that's such a good point. How can we be supportive of people in our lives who overextend out of necessity? That is a good question. Like for me, that's been my situation because of a terrible family dynamic in which people basically literally made hundreds of thousands of dollars on my name. I still have to go and figure how to get myself out of it. That's not something I did. So, in situations like that, the community has been coming forward to help me financially, and I'm so grateful for that. But that's my situation. So, depends what they need. Do they need food? Do they need housing? Do they need some prayers? Do they need money? Do they need a job? look at what practical things that you can actually do to help people move themselves into better situations. And I have been massively supported by community, which is one of the reasons why I keep doing what I'm doing, irrespective of how tough it can get sometimes. So, very grateful to everyone. Just keep doing what you can, especially when it comes to me and my loved ones. Do what you can and, stay a part of the group. Um, Search Marina says purple pill. Yeah, it'd be purple in his tummy. Samantha says mutual aid. Exactly. You got to do something. If you just keep asking, asking, asking without giving something at the very least, it's pretty imbalanced too. And I do what I can. Paul says, just saw you on the live saying hello. Hello, Paul. Did you get my reply to your comment? I hope you are doing well with respect to the recent death in your community. That's not a pleasant thing. But, hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're doing okay. So, how is everyone else? What are you doing for the new moon? Are you doing anything fun? Michi says, we're grateful for you, Dr. Bhairavi. Thank you. I do my best. I'm clearly here for a reason at this time in humanity's evolution, so hopefully I am doing enough. Probably. But how is everyone? What else are you doing for the new moon? Do you have any plans? Any questions or comments or things that you'd like to share? People are open to share just about anything as long as it's not spam. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. We can talk about it if I feel it's appropriate. So yeah, you know, hello neighbor and such. But I'm appreciative of you, Michi. It was lovely to meet you. Michi has beautiful children, and she likes sending me videos of them sometimes, so that's very nice. And I have a personal connection with so many of you through, so many years of doing this work, which is what it's about, really. Shannon says, I got my friend to give me a mullet haircut and dyed it purple. I kind of want to see a photo of this now. Well, more power to you. Enjoy your purple hair. I mean, to be fair, I did have a couple of years back, my hair was short and I had like, I don't know, gold, red, and God knows what other colors. But I had that experience and I said, nah. Also, speaking of hair, can you see all my white hairs? Proof I am aging. Aha, proof. You can't really see it because of the light, but you can see all of this proof here, right here. I think it looks good. But anyway, um, Search says a bit hard to deal with Aquarian energy because I don't have any air signs in my natal chart. Not one. How to find balance when that happens? Just go with it. To be fair, Search, just remember that what we see in astrology, this much. There's over 20,000 named bodies in the skies. And different bodies have more or less of an influence in your chart than others. I mean, in my work, I use about 200-ish bodies when I look at a chart in detail. So you probably do have something there. You just don't have the perspective of knowing what is there. But even if that's okay, I mean, even if you don't know the names of what might be sitting in your chart, just work more, make a more conscious effort to direct yourself onto Aquarian activities, especially vis-a-vis what house it is in your chart, or just how you feel that energy flowing. If you feel that you don't have anything to anchor it, you have to consciously make that effort. And that's how I would say one way of approaching this. There are many ways. Let's see. Michi says on the new moon, it's my daughter's 10th birthday. Oh God. She wants to see her father. Oh God. So yeah, bittersweet. And child's father passed away recently. So, I'm sorry, honey. That's very, very, very tough. Maybe she can sing some songs to him. One thing I used to do when I was little and my grandfather had died, and the people I was really connected to when I was a kid was my brother and my grandfather. And when he died, I know it's not environmentally great now, but when I was a child doing it was a big deal. I used to send a balloon up and I would tie a note to it, and I'd get one of those helium balloons and I would send it up. Maybe you can find something that works and she can send a message that might help. I know that helped me. So Victoria says silver has indeed. Search says I remember your rainbow period. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Shannon says, lol, I'll send you a pic. No Stern and Stone says, oh, you're getting sparkly tinsel hair. That's going to be gorgeous. I think so. I think so. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's very like, it's on the side. So I think it's going to be quite cool when you see those, proper streaks. Then I'll maybe look like Rogue from the X-Men, kind of. Who knows? We'll see. LA says DRE. Not sure what that means. Samantha says, so apparently some study confirmed people are getting gray hairs on average a decade earlier, probably because you're all so stressed. That is true, but to be fair, for me, I'm 37, so going to be 38, so this is okay. This is okay. There have lots of, like, my brother got gray hair when he was 14, I think. Yeah. He already had stress on his plate before it was a thing. Michi says, honestly, I want to crawl under the covers and snuggle up. All of this is conjunct my first house. I'm tired and want to sleep. I understood. Victoria says, I've got a bit of a frosted look going myself. Fair enough. LA says, I know you mentioned dreams. Could you direct me to understanding a dream in which I had escaped a snow avalanche? Ooh, well, that could mean a whole bunch of things, but generally the fact that you escaped being buried alive is a good thing. I would say so. I would say it's probably a good thing. In yourself, you may want to see what the snow avalanche actually represents to you. I mean, it could be related to a particular memory, this life or other lives, or it could literally just mean you not caving into the wave of psychic and emotional chaos and turmoil that might be trying to crash on your shores. Quite open ended, that one, but hopefully some questions to think about. Shannon says, oh, Michi. Michi says, that's a good idea. I think she'll like sending a balloon up. Thanks again. Most welcome. Try to find an eco-friendly alternative. Shannon says, yes, silver hair will be nice on you. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Serge says the avalanche sound like the tower and terror of my grain of salt. Yeah, that's a good interpretation as well. And Michi sends hugs back to Shannon. Paul says on wow, that's preciseness, Paul. Paul has been feeling attachments in meditations, and I felt the same attachment since October. Is this a common thing in the practice of meditation? Yes, Paul, it's extremely common. Finding attachments is part and parcel of the spiritual path. If you have found a teacher or someone who claims they have never had an attachment, please run away fast. Like, run fast, because that ain't right. So the good news is that you're actually aware of it. People have many attachments because they are not aware of it. Now, the thing to check is this actually an attachment, or is it a part of you that you've not yet recognized? First of all, it's important to clarify that. And if it is an attachment, then the second question is, how do you deal with it? Is it something that you need to, is it something that you need to recognize and let go of? Is it something that needs compassion? Or is it something parasitic that needs a, which is compassion, just with a much sharper edge? So, that's the thing that I would say you would need to first identify. Is this you? If it's you, different process. If it's not you, which way do you let go of it? But most importantly, if something is coming in a meditation and you don't feel like it's actually just part of you trying to get your attention, then you have to ask it what it wants. And generally, when you confront things head on, face to face, that is when you will actually make progress. Because if you kind of do the dance of skirting around, looking what does this thing want, who is it, where did it come from, it'll take you much longer. Sit down, ask it what it wants, and you'll probably find more answers. Hopefully that helps. Michi says, yes, I will try my best to find eco-friendly helium. Do that. But I think that'll help. I mean, it's a obviously, you don't have to do that for her to communicate with her dad, but it's a symbol that would bring solace to a child. It worked for me. So, but yeah. So anything else anyone else wants to talk about whilst you got me here for our Hello Neighbor? Woo! It's always fun doing these. I get to be a little bit more. Oh my God, I just focused a little bit of energy on the phone and the line cut for a second. I told you, technology does not like me. Technology does not like me. But having said that, anything else anyone wants to talk about, or shall we wrap up? Samantha says, So let me know. Let me know. It's good. It is good conversation this time around. Oh, Victoria says, Lunar New Year blessings to you and to you and to you. It's going to be the year of the dragon. Let's see what comes forward. So that's cool. Dragons are cool. I mean, at least I think so, but who knows? So hopefully things will start moving forwards even more so for the collective. I think we've all, I mean, not just me and what happened to me in the past few years of my life, but I think all of us have come through a terrifying storm. So here's looking for for brighter skies and clearer waters. Paul says, "May the lunar year be with you." Nice. That is nice. That is nice. I like that, Paul. Search says, I think disclosure is coming this year. Possibly this year and the next year. It's going to be a lot of secrets revealed. So we're just going to see how it comes forth. It's all of that Neptune exiting Pisces vibe. In Pisces, he's about them deeply hidden secrets. So, pew, pew. Let's see what happens. Yep, Lucky Cat is giving me a stern look. So I think it's about time to wrap up. And Josh has also spoken, so it's definitely time to wrap up. So I send all of you very many blessings, so much love, take care, and ciao ciao for now. Bye bye.